Okay, well, that is 6 o'clock, so we'll get started. Okay, so hello everyone who's watching the replay and anyone tuning in. I'm just doing a live stream today to basically talk about what I'm planning to do with the channel this year. I have been wanting to try out live streams for a while, and I also never got around to doing the 2024 channel update at the start of the year due to being a bit ill, so I figured, two birds, one stone. 2023 was easily the biggest year we've had for the channel. Of course, it helped that we didn't have any massive personal setbacks like in 2022. But there's a lot of momentum behind the channel, and it's very exciting times as we're looking towards kind of the new year. So we are over halfway to monetization now. There's still a long way to go there, but we just keep chipping away, and we will be looking for more videos like this that will hopefully increase the watch time, and also hopefully we'll be hoping to get some more videos that get views kind of over time as well. We did reach 1,800 plus subscribers this year, so that is really, really cool. It's really good to see that amount of people kind of checking into the channel, although I'm pretty sure, I'm still convinced the vast majority of them are bots, because it's not reflected by the amount of views we get, or even the amount of subscribers it says we've gotten from various videos, etc. So this year we will hit 2,000 subscribers, and I think it would be fair to put the target on 2,500 or even 3,000. That being said, I don't really believe in setting targets for stuff like that, purely because it's not really under my control. I can try my best to make people watch, etc., but I can't make them do it. So I think it's a kind of arbitrary thing to set that kind of target. But that being said, it's something we can look forward to. We did upload 118 videos in 2023. That averages to one video every 3 days, which is more or less what I was hoping for. It kind of hits the average of what I was hoping for, which was 2 videos a week. Depending on how you view it, it's arguably better. It's it's slightly better than one every 3 to 4 days. So yeah, I don't really know how I managed that. I know I uploaded a video every day for a week in March as March Madness, and I also uploaded a video every day for a week later in the year, purely because I did. So the periods like that where I'm a bit more prolific have clearly made up for what the times when I'm not as active, basically. And it's nice to know that I've kind of hit the average there. So that is really, really nice to know. And hopefully we can just stick with that and do more or less the same this year. We did 26 NW openings this year, which is massively up on the yearly average, which is 9, which is obviously just far too low for the amount of unboxings I actually need to get through. We still have 120 to go, so I just can't seem to get that number down. I did get it to about 116, I think, at one point, but yeah, just seems to come back up before it goes any lower than that. The Royal Rumble series from this year need doing as well. I did want to open those straight away when I got them, but unfortunately just got away from me, as these things quite often do, and that is looking likely to be the Royal Rumble special now, rather than the Titus O'Neil unboxing, which, let's face it, people would probably much rather see the latter than the former, the original plan. Next thing I wanted to talk about is the Figure Fed. The next event is Fix the World, and parts 1 and 3 of this are done, and most of 2 is done. I literally just need to finish off filming the rushed finish, because I decided months ago I couldn't be bothered dragging this one out much longer. If I'm completely honest, I made a kind of impulse booking when I did the Resurrection Pick Fed show, and kind of wrote myself into a storyline I really wasn't interested in, and that's really slowed down the filming process. I filmed part 3 really quickly because I was quite interested in that. Part 1 took me ages. Part 2 is basically a continuation of part 1, so that has also taken me ages, and even now when I've planned this rushed finish, it's still taking me ages to just kill the video off. And another delay in that, which, you know, is not ideal, is a delay in editing. You know, technically speaking, I could edit and release part 1 now. But what I have been doing is trying to find a more optimum way of doing the editing process, because I just don't think that I'm now down to 30 seconds is the maximum it will let me actually like save in a stop motion video. I don't think that editing the video in 30 second chunks in Movie Maker 2012 is probably the optimum way to edit a stop motion in 2024. But I haven't found a better alternative, which is why I've been using Movie Maker 2024. Which is why I've been using Movie Maker 2012 this long to begin with. You'll have to excuse me. My sister's dog is under the table, and as you can hear, he is desperate for attention. Yeah, I just don't think that that's the optimum way of doing things, but there's a reason why I am still doing it that way. It seems like every other editing software I try to use doesn't work, can't handle the stop motion, the amount of frames, etc. that need importing to it, and that seems absolutely bizarre to me. I know I'm still kind of living in the Stone Age, and most people kind of film their animation into Dragon Frame or something to that effect, and I will start doing that going forward, but right now I have a load of pre-filmed video that I have no way to edit, or I have to edit in 30-second chunks. I thought I was onto a winner with InShot, but for some reason that won't let me import the photos in the correct order, which is incredibly annoying. So that one slight issue is that really is the thing that's held it back. I probably would have released part 1 when I filmed it if I was able to kind of fix the lighting balance, etc. and edit the whole thing in InShot. But purely because I can't import the frames in the correct order in InShot, that's held the whole thing up. But yeah, for the next match, we will be looking at filming into Dragon Frame or something to that effect. And hopefully we'll be able to get the first couple of parts of Fix the World out relatively soon. I recently realized it's now been like 4.5 years since I released my Royal Rumble video, and I've done 1 show since then, which is just terrible however you slice it. So yeah, really need to step things up with the figure fed in that regard this year. But hopefully we'll be able to get on with that. But we've got there's a lot of that going around with me the last couple of years. So one thing that's really exciting for the channel this year that we're going to talk about as if it has almost already happened, or as if, you know, it's going to happen, it's certain, is driving. We're not going to say I might pass my test. We're not going to say I might get a car. We're going to say I'm going to pass my test. I'm going to get a car. And that opens up a lot more avenues in life. First of all, it's just a quality of life upgrade, isn't it? A huge one. It's an exciting period in your life where everything just suddenly becomes more fun. It's going to be a period in your life where everything is exciting, and that includes, you know, the things with the figure fed, etc., that we can do with a car. So for example, it's a huge step up for reselling as well. You know, I can go to charity shops whenever I like to. I can go to boot sales. I could do a boot sale if I wanted to. You know, I tried to source all of my Shitty Jacks figures for like £1 each, so I can just take all the ones that won't sell down to the boot sale 1 week, price them all up for £1, cash out, get my investment back, and still be the cheapest you know, wrestling figure table at that boot sale, and just get the money back that way. That's definitely something we can do. We can also go to new places, try out their charity shops, and also try out their other types of shops, which brings me to the other thing that driving will be good for with the channel, and that is toy hunts. Obviously, I won't have to wait for my dad to be available to take me to get a new figure when it comes out or anything of that nature, and I'll also be able to go further afield and to visit a lot of different places. I know me and my ex-girlfriend discovered there's actually a fair few places in Sunderland, so it'd be quite nice to go up there, for example. As I've mentioned before on the channel, Superpower Toys is quite nearby, and it's very near another shop called Total Cards, so that would be a really cool toy hunt to do at some stage to investigate both of those things. And I think that I would just be more excited about the toy hunts because, you know, I've driven there, um, I've kind of made an adventure out of it, and the whole thing's going to be more interesting. And I can also take my friend Anth along with me, and we've been talking about this for a couple of years now. In fact, there is potential for this to happen in the near future because our friend Gary has also recently passed his test, so it's been suggested to me that we could go for a toy hunt at some point. I think we'd have a pretty interesting group dynamic. You know, Gary's the kind of guy who wouldn't know what the hell is going on. I'm the kind of level-headed Brian Myers guy, and Ant's the guy who just cannot stop chatting shit throughout the entire video. So I think it'd be pretty interesting, pretty funny. We'll probably find some cool places to go and check out. So that's something that we can do, and I can only get back to you on that, guys. But I think it'll be great for toy hunts because most of the time, you know, I turn up while, you know, my mum and dad are going out to the shop, so I go with them. I turn up to the shop. I don't really want to get my phone out and film everything, and then if I do, I don't really feel like editing it and dubbing it over later. Of course, if there's just the three of us and I don't need to dub it over because it's just a conversation throughout the video and it's more exciting, it's more fun that way, it's just going to be a lot better. I know that when I did my first toy hunt, I was really excited to get home and edit that because I knew I'd accidentally picked up a load of really funny noises in the background and stuff. So that was really cool, and I'm sure it'd be much the same when I'm thinking this conversation was really funny. I can't wait to sort of share that with people. Okay. Oh dear. Might have to no, I think we're alright. Okay, so next point. I'm looking into the future. I'm going to be looking at diversifying content even more on the channel. I say this a lot, but I'm wanting to like really kind of get into it and nail that down this year. So first of all, the first step in that is going to be making everything into content. So we've already seen that a little bit with the Kangaskhan X Battle Deck video. That is the kind of thing that normally I would have just opened and went about my life, not really thought about making a video on. But now everything is content, so we have to really just nail all of those things and really just get into, you know, what, you know, basically getting into every niche we can, have as many fingers in as many pies as possible. You know, it might be a really short video, doesn't really matter. The point is that we're there, we're involved in that, and if anyone is looking for that video, which people will be, that's what niches are, then we will be kind of, we will be there to kind of get that view and to get that watch time as well. So, and that Kangaskhan X Battle Deck video is actually done really well for one of my videos. You know, it's near like 100 views, so that's pretty cool. And that's, you know, something I'm very happy to see. Oakley, sit still. So yeah, I have the Magic the Gathering 10th Doctor deck I'm going to do. I've literally already opened it. I just haven't opened the actual cards. I've opened the box to see the contents, etc. on Christmas Day. I'll probably end up doing a video out of that though, just purely because, you know, I can. So yeah, everything is going to be content. And the next thing is that we've just started the Disaster Side Racing kind of die-cast cars content with the first race on Saturday just gone. There is more we can do with that. I have a couple more videos filmed. I have the Model A Madness event filmed, I think, because there were a few issues in filming that race as well, so I'm not sure if I need to redo that one or not. But I also have a die-cast Pixar Cars race using the Pixar cars that I already have. That's fully filmed and everything. That's ready to be edited like whenever. And hopefully we're going to be able to get around and do those relatively quickly, and much more quickly than the last video, which has taken us well over half a year to actually make. For the last couple of weeks, it's been fully edited, apart from needing me to go online and get myself get a special effects, get a sound effect rather, of like a race countdown. That was the only thing holding the video up, and it took me a few weeks to just go online, download that. I did it, checked it over, absolutely fine. It's out, it's done. You can go and watch that now. Please do, because although it's picked up a little bit, it probably hasn't done quite what I had hoped. And it was, if I'm completely honest, it was off to a really disappointing start. but it did pick up a little bit, so it could be worse. Disaster Garage in general is something I want to do more on. Like, for example, the Disaster Rides Hot Wheels opening series. I'm not really sure how that's gotten away from me so far because it really just isn't a time-consuming thing. But again, it's the same nature. You get a Hot Wheels, you do an opening video, a very short video. I could even blast through a good few of them in 10, 20 minutes and then just chop them up into chunks and release all those videos and get in kind of that kind of niche of whatever car it is, people who are looking up that car and so on and so forth, and we could get that done. Disaster Rides really doesn't need to be a time-consuming thing, and it really shouldn't be. It really should be something I've been getting in on at them already, and there's plenty that we can do to kind of, there's plenty I already have to open on that series as well. And another thing I want to get into more so with the Disaster Garage stuff is Disney Pixar cars. And we'll just use this one here of my nephews as a little hand example. This is something that I thought I was going to start collecting when I started working at Smith's in 2022. And then earlier in 2023, when my nephew got really into it, I thought that was the end. It looks like now, early 2024, that is when we're finally going to be getting in on the Disney Pixar cars. We've uploaded 2 mail openings already, which were a little bit disappointing, but they were still kind of cool. And I actually have a third mail opening that I still haven't done. It's been sat there for like 2 weeks, just waiting for me to open it. And despite how excited I was to kind of get those cars, I still actually just haven't had a day where I thought, yeah, let's go and do that now. And that basically features some of the Disney mud races as well as the drive-in set of the Disney Pixar cars. So that's really cool. The mud races give us another thing that we can do races of, another kind of racing niche, and the driving cars are just cool anyway. We've got Buzz and Flick and PT Flea, so some cool Disney characters in there. But Disney content does pretty well. I've actually had mixed results with the Pixar car stuff. I've done 3 videos, 2 of them did really well. One of them didn't do so well, but it's done okay. And it'll probably go up over time as well, especially as we make more content in that kind of niche. But Disney content, generally speaking, does really well. And it's something I'm interested in, so why not kind of go for it, lean into it a little bit more. But I might need a different track for it because the Lightning McQueen in particular, that Lightning McQueen is the main character and he doesn't really fit on the Hot Wheels track all that well. He's slightly too wide. So I might need to invest in another track. And speaking of this being like the next collection here on DSW Network, I also want to start featuring videos from my oldest collection, which is Yu-Gi-Oh! That's where I first started on YouTube, and I'd like to go back to including some cool YouTube videos, some cool nostalgia stuff, some kind of casual things. What we're basically going to be doing there is like more classic card videos and character decks. This is something that just hit me one morning recently. I was like, why have I never done profiles of these? It takes like 10 minutes. You get people that are interested in character decks having a look at kind of what you're doing. I'm sure a lot of people don't quite play in as stringent a nature as me and my friends do, but yeah, I think it's still really cool to showcase. And me and my friend Tom have quite a lot of different characters, all the main characters, etc. So we've got a decent catalogue of stuff that we can just kind of team up and chop all of them out and just upload them. It wouldn't even take long, to be honest with you. That's something we just need to get around to doing. And one final note is that I will be changing the upload time, which is currently about 9 o'clock, to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's purely because that's my most active time, my viewers' most active time on YouTube now. It used to be 9 o'clock. That's a huge change. Don't really know what that's about, but yeah, it's now 3 o'clock's the most active time. We'll be doing more kind of early afternoon uploads. Now, I'll be completely honest, I've not really seen any noticeable difference on the videos that I have been uploading at 9 o'clock. I mean, I certainly hope I haven't anyway, because they don't seem to have been doing much better. And I think that any videos that have like really went off that have been uploaded at 9 o'clock have just been a coincidence, really. Like, either that video was always going to do well, or it's like one niche example, whereas all the others have just done as well as everything else. So I don't really believe in peak times, but we'll continue the experiment and we'll try with 3 o'clock really. But the final thing I want to say is that with all of this, it's a whole thing of stuff I want to do and stuff I'm hoping to work on more, stuff I'm hoping to focus on more, and basically getting more stuff done, being more productive more often, being more prolific in these kind of ways. But if this is the case, if 2024 is when I finally get my act together and everything clicks together and I start working and focusing on things a lot more, then music, etc., needs to be the main focus. That needs to take priority over everything. But the channel is still very useful because it gives me an easier sense of accomplishment and productivity, and it doesn't it's not as invasive as music. You know, you don't need to necessarily have your head fully switched on to kind of work on stuff for this. So anytime where I just want to kind of knock something out really quickly and feel productive in that way, then obviously the channel is going to get the priority there. And there's also a lot of stuff that it will just be doing this year, I'm sure, between these toy hunts, etc., that will bring a lot of attention to the channel. And that is more or less everything I have written down that I want to talk about for the future of the channel this year. And since we've not really got anyone tuned in throughout the entire video, that also means we don't have any questions or anything, any chatter in the top chat. So with that coming to an end, it's quite cold in this kitchen, and I'm quite interested in watching Middlesbrough versus Chelsea tonight. I'm not a Borough fan, but it certainly, I certainly would like to check that out. So it'd be good to get tea done before that and everything. So if there is if there's no one here to ask or chat about anything else, we might as well bring this one to an end. So thank you to the people who are watching the replay. Thank you to the people who have tuned in. And I hope that, this has been kind of interesting to the people most interested in the channel. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining me, and goodbye. How'd you turn this off then?